Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool when your truck sat in a parking lot of a hotel all night and you still have all your stuff. RD, can you see that thing? Got an RD gas tank. Honda gas tank. Every single bit of it's still here. I'm gonna check the straps. You know, this stuff loosens up as you drive. Tighten up everything and hit the road again. I'll be back in Tampa today. But I'm not saying I won't find anything between here and there. So let's get looking. Well, it looks like there's a big crash on 75 South, so I jumped off at Adel, A-D-E-L, Georgia. Jumped onto 41, which is the same 41 that goes straight into Tampa. This road traditionally has some good stuff, so let's see what we can find. But first, a quick stop at Bev's Burgers and Barbecue. They also have a roast beef sandwich. Very rare. Very rare. Some of you guys may remember this place. We're in the very top of Florida. Put a pullover on the side of the road, and this guy had just stuff kind of scattered around his yard. He doesn't seem to be here right now, so I'm not going to be able to talk to him, but his buddy's here. He just kind of camped out under the four-wheeler there. He's actually really friendly. He's waiting for me to pet him. I think I'm going to have to go do that. Well, we got the Honda 50 Mini Trail home. It's a 72, the first year for rear suspension. Pardon the AC kicking on and off in the background. We're in Florida. It's raining outside, so we have to do this on the screened-in porch. What I'm going to do first of all is change out this plug, change out the coil, and we're also going to be putting a new tail light lens on the back. But already checked the oil. There's oil in it. It spins freely. And I guess Bill used to own this at some time. Anyway, let's get to it. Make some progress. In the words of Jed Clampett, woo doggy. It's nice to find one that's kind of wet and dirty looking. Not necessarily wet. This is about what you'd want to see. If it was dry and rusty, that means probably water in the combustion chamber, which is always bad. But this one, that's how I wanted it to look. Let's put the new one in. Plugs in, time to get the plug wire and coil, which are one unit, installed up in there. I have to flip the bike around so I can get the bolts for the seat and the tank off. There's not a lot involved in spinning one of these around. They are so light. See our choke assembly there. Fuel petcock. These go bad on these often, so I'm just assuming that'll be bad, but I'm gonna take off the nuts here for the seat. Take off the gas tank. First problem with my Amazon bought part. See how this one looks really similar, except of course this bracket right here, which is riveted on. That means that I have to get in there, cut those two rivets out, place it on the new coil, because I'm almost certain that's how it grounds. So let's do that. The coil cable was not long enough, so I had to do all kinds of rigging and stuff, and it'll still work, but we've got to order another one if it's going to work right. Put this plug back in before all that escapes. Well, it's the next day and it's finally a little sun out here, but we still have the AC making noise off in the background. Sorry about that, but got some rust in the tank, and I saw some pretty good reviews on this stuff. No scrubbing, reusable, easy soak, removes rust to bare metal. Reusable? So I've been soaking my little Honda Mini Trail tank here in it. Not crazy rust in there, but just a light hazing, and we'll see what happens, because it's been in there for almost 24 hours now. I've been moving it around and turned it upside down, sideways, and all that. The petcock was working yesterday when I took it off the bike, but let's get this stuff out of here and see what it looks like, what happens. I have never used this stuff before, so I'm going to run it through this strainer and see what stays on the strainer and see what goes back in the bottle. Well, it sure does look dirty. Well, there is what came out. However, this could be a bit misleading because I'm still supposed to rinse this very well with water, which I'm going to do now. We'll see what it looks like afterwards internally. The petcock works perfectly. No leaking. It's in its on position. Turn it off, it goes totally stopped. So as soon as this dries this time, we're going to put it back on the bike when needed. That's one less thing to do. I'm not lying, my girlfriend is a badass. She just helped me get all the bikes and go-karts and everything out of here. I'm gonna give you a rundown what I got when I went to Alabama. Now I'll tell you now, the gas tanks and seats are safely in the trailer there. I wanted to make sure they weren't out in the elements. 72 RD 350. Spins freely. Still got the key with it. Now the 305 Dream is from the 60s. I don't know the exact year yet. The tag is sitting right up there by the triple tree. But that's missing some parts, and that's probably honestly just going to go away. The go-kart is an 82 Firebird Trans Am, like a Top Fuel funny car kind of thing. It's sitting sideways because it's sitting on a couple of batteries. Anyway, the Honda Passport is an 82. And right beside it, the Honda Express 2. I'm not going to lie, I think these would be kind of cool to just get running and, you know, just take them through the neighborhood or down to the beach or something. That's an old Manco. This is going to get the 212 hopped up engine that has the aftermarket cam and the billet flywheel and the billet rod and all that kind of stuff. And this one here, an early 200cc RD series that they just called the RS3 or RS5. Anyway, totally locked up tighter than a drum. It's a 200, but you'll see down there on the side it says electric. That's their first bike in this series that was electric. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the Manco, and finally, the thing that I want you to tell me what you guys think about this. Not the 31A Roadster. Had that for a while. See that thing? That base spins around. It's like a display for this little mini bike. It has a push style brake on it. And it has kind of chopper looking handlebars. No drivetrain, but it looks like the tire was on something at one time. There's no tread on the front one, and there is on the back. Is that a display or was it something else? I'd love to see what you guys think. As I told you, there's the Dream tank, the side plate for the 350, and the seat and the RD 350 tank down there too. I want to see what you guys think of all this stuff. I know this is not my normal car stuff, but I'd love to hear what you guys think of all this. By the way, that's my truck that made it all the way home. I bought that in Kentucky. It went about 15 to 1,700 miles. I wasn't keeping total track, but we changed the oil thanks to my buddy Dylan, who found it for me, and checked the tire pressure, put an air filter in it, and drove it all the rest of the way home. I got a kicking deal on this. It brought home all these, brought home all that stuff. So it's already working to pay for itself. They hit a deer on that fender. That's why the nice shiny headlight, and that's why this one is not. 2009 1500 work truck. Thanks guys for watching. I don't ask you very often, but please, if you watch this, take a moment to like and subscribe. That means a whole lot of difference in if I make any money or not.